Welcome back to Market to Market. Did you know that research suggests that people who have plants in their workspaces are happier, healthier, and more productive employees? On this week's Made in TNT, we chat with Maria Samad, Managing Director of the Plant People Ltd, a company whose mission is to make every space a greener place. Let's talk about the business of the Plant People Ltd. What do you all do?
The Plant People Ltd is an interiorscape company. By that I mean that we try to provide the inside of your property with the same kind of look as the outside. So we place plants and pots and even water features sometimes on your premises to create that garden feel. We rent those plants to customers on a long-term basis.
Why did you decide to get into this business?
We actually are the merger of two existing entities. 5 years ago, we acquired a very small family-run business, and the owners were retiring. And then a year after, a well-established company in Trinidad, over 35 years, we acquired the interior aspect of their business. So it's actually two entities coming together, and the Plant People Ltd is actually a rebrand of those two old names.
How long has the Plant People Ltd been in existence?
I have been involved in the last 6 years. After I retired from the financial sector and having acquired the first company, I got involved in it. So it's 6 years we have been managing the new entity.
What are the services that you offer?
Interiorscaping essentially says that I will come in and I would look at your environment and understand your needs, and based on what I see, your lighting, your aesthetics, we would recommend a certain size of plant, a certain type of plant, and even a pot and the color to go with it to suit your decor. And the really added part to it is that we come in once a week and we maintain that plant. Most people want a plant, but they say, listen, I kill plants. But what we provide is we come and we maintain, we replace, we change. We even make alterations if we see need be. For example, you may add an office and we're recognizing that there's a need for an additional plant in there. We will give you the prompt to say you need an additional plant. Sometimes the plant we have there is outgrown the spot, we make the adjustment. So you don't have to tell us anything. Once you allow us to come into your space, then we take it over as far as plants are concerned. So that service of coming once a week, watering the plants, and that service entails watering, checking to see if the plant is healthy, still looking good, pruning, cleaning. At times we polish the plants, although it's not really something that you do consistently because you want the plant to stay healthy. We clean the pots. Sometimes we move them because you're having an event, but that is all part of the monthly rental costs that you pay.
Are your services geared only to corporate customers?
Presently, our main focus is yes, corporate clients, because they appreciate it, they understand it. We have strategically decided there is a market for residential rental. The challenge we encounter for the time being is access to the plants. How would the other people in the home, i.e. children, pets, interact with the plants? You know, children will tend to probably pull at it if it looks attractive. So there's a greater probability of damage and less access to the plants on the residential side. So it's something that we have to consider, but we have had a few requests. We're not doing it presently, however.
What is the value of using plants in offices?
Plants, they create wellness because it is documented and well researched that a plant actually operates as a small air-conditioned unit, and what it does is it provides cool air. So if you're actually in an office and a plant is near you, you would find that the area around where the plant is tends to be a little cooler than the rest of the room. So they create a nice warm feeling for you where your plant is. Plants also clean the air. So if you have carpets, the carpets give off dust mites. The plants will help to treat with that and the stuffiness of the carpets. There's also a school of thought that a lot of the printers and computers around you give off a chemical called vortex chemicals, and the plants will help to mitigate the impact of that on you. So they're not just there to look nice, but they also look, they're there for your wellness. And they also, another thing that people overlook is they inspire you. You look at a plant, you're really struggling with a thought or idea, or you're just tired or burnt out, and you look at a plant, they have the quality and the capacity to just allow you to relax. And by nature, because of their greenness, you get energized. So if you have a plant around you where you work, you will tend to be more productive than if you have no plants. Yeah, it is proven that if you put plants in, productivity go up. And the icing on the cake, however, is that you create a warmness. You've brought a garden into the office, and it is proven, it's tested in the first world countries or the bigger countries, that where there are plants, people tend to work longer hours. They don't feel to go home because it feels like home. So when an employer puts plant there in his office, he knows what he's doing. He's going to get people to work harder. People do get attached to their plants. So that whilst the employer says, I'm putting a plant in because we need to have something to fill the space, we have found from our experience that when you go to move that plant, barring that it needs to be changed, there's a lot of opposition. Where are you going with my plant? I have a bond with it. People actually bond with their plants, so that they value the presence, and the other values far outweigh the presence alone.
How do you promote your business?
Well, having acquired, the first company was, I would say, a small player in the industry at the time I acquired it. The second company, however, was one of the largest companies in the country doing that kind of business. In fact, the owner, the previous owner, he pioneered interiorscaping in the country. And so we acquired a lot of customers with the second company. We actually do not actively go out and advertise other than putting something in the telephone directory. We get our business from referrals. So a customer will tell another one, or they will inquire, where do you get your plants? Or a relative will tell another relative in another office, if you're looking for plants, check the Plant People, and that's how we get business. So we're being kept busy right now just with referral calls. And if we had to go out and market, I don't know where we get the time from, to be honest, but that's how we get our business right now, from referrals, existing customers.
For all the employers looking on who got excited when they heard that productivity could be increased just by having a plant in the office, how can you be contacted?
You can find us in the yellow pages, the Plant People Ltd. You can also find us on the internet, the Plant People Ltd @gmail.com. And if you go on the website, you will also see the kind of plants that we use. You will see the kind of pots that we use. And I will get excited starting to talk about the pots, because we pride ourselves in trying to make sure that the finished product creates the kind of ambience that the customer wants. It's not just about a plant in a saucer, but a plant in a container that complements where it's placed. In fact, we're setting up an existing client new location on next week, and the question she asked me is, what color pots are you using? I said, look at what we reached to. We have to talk color pots now. And so we've gone into a line of pots out of Italy that are different colors, different shapes, and that is allowing us to create the kind of feel that the customers are looking for. So if anybody wants to reach us, you can call us at 640-3237, the telephone directory, or you can go on the website, punch in the Plant People Ltd. We're in Tacarigua, and you can find us through that. Just send us an email. The Plant People, yeah. Plant People Ltd @gmail.com.
So can we get a couple tips? How much plants optimal in an office?
It is recommended that you put a plant per X square foot in an office. So for example, if you have an office you have a premises with 4 offices, ideally you'll want to try and put a plant in each office for each person. And then you put one in the common area, and you might just want to put one on the reception area. To determine needs, the way you ask me, how much do you put? Whenever we get that kind of question, we would say, listen, we need to see your premises. Because when we see the space you have, then we could determine what kind of plants to use, what size of pots to use, and how many to use. And the type of plants used are driven by your space, your specific requirements, and the amount of light you have in your premises. Light meaning, is it artificial lighting? Is it Light artificial, yes, because it's indoors and air conditioned, but there's a lot of glass, so more light is coming in. And depending on that, we can vary the type of plants that we put. Sometimes people call and they say, can I have a palm? And when we go there, we say, well, your premises is not going to allow us to place a palm because of the lighting. So the plants that we select are not just because we like them, we like all of them, but it ties in with the space that you have, what will look nice, and the lighting. And sometimes we even go to the extent, is it a male or a female, right? And then, of course, we pay attention to conference rooms, to boardrooms, the CEO's office, the reception area, that sort of thing.
So is there a difference in the type of plant that you might put in a boardroom as opposed to an office where only one person is located? Is there some kind of psychology behind there?
Yeah, that's a good question, because in a boardroom you understand right away the kind of dynamics taking place there, a lot of decision making, and you would want to put plants that are big and plants that are tall, space permitting. So you want to size up, is it a long table, a small table, the width of the room. Yesterday I did a setup and the guy said, I thought we were having 4 plants in here. And I said, you don't have room for 4 because you're anticipating in a boardroom you're going to bring in a table with drinks, you're going to bring in a projector. And even if you put the 4 plants, then sometimes you have people sitting on the outside. So you anticipate the use of the room. So it depends on the room, but you definitely want to put in a big one so it creates an impact as you enter. And that's what you want to do, complement. And then you look for some kind of strategic furniture in there. Sometimes everybody has this television now up on the wall. You'd want to place one below there because everybody looks there. So you put in the plant where you're going to get that eye contact as you enter. Reception tables, definitely, once you have the room, it's not too busy, a center table in your reception area. And of course, you want to make sure the CEO has his plants. You want to keep him healthy and wealthy and well, because you want to keep the plants really help. They work long hours, they stress, and the plants do help. And you tend, what we have found from our experience, most of the times you would have 1 or 2 plants in the CEO's office. If it's not a big one, it's a small one. And then we have different categories of plants. We talk tabletop, which is your small plant. We talk a basket, which is not really a basket that you carry, but it's a round type pot. Then we talk a large plant, which is it can go between 4 feet to as much as 6 feet. And then you have extra large plants, which you tend to use on the outside. There are clients who place plants on the outside of their premises, again, depending on how it's structured, and they go into direct sunlight. With that, you have a free choice. The only constraint you have is security of the plants, but you can put any kind of plant that will stay good in that sunlight. Based on our internal placement of plants, we need to service them once a week, and people are always alarmed at that because they think we're being cruel. But the plants are climatized once they go inside, and they adapt to us coming once a week and watering them.
Oh, so they're only watered
once a week.
And there's really no excuse for people who have brown thumbs. Everybody can get a plant.
Yeah, everybody can get a plant. And the thing is, we tell employees and we tell the employer, all you have to do is like the plant. Don't water it, don't touch it, don't do anything with it. We will come and do everything. So we're once a week and we water it.
What was the experience like for you moving from the corporate world into entrepreneurship?
And, we have them in public places where they get the foodstuffs that are served and the drinks. So we have to be constantly trying to, what I have found is that life-giving thing has to continue to create what you're seeking to create, which is a green space, creating beauty, inspiring people, and creating a sense of comfort and wellness. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for other people who might be considering getting out of the rat race and getting into entrepreneurship, starting their own business?
I would say find your niche, find something that gives you joy. My joy with working with plants, as I said, is life-giving and transforming, and it's really seeing people connect. And if you're going into business, leaving as you say a well-positioned job to go into on your own to start all over, find something that you like. Get to understand your industry. Get to understand people you could network with, because that helps. You always need to go to somebody who knows or can help you. And most of all, you have to have a lot of faith. I think you have to have a lot of faith. I know you have to have a lot of faith, because every day I say, "Here I come, Lord, I come to do your will." So you have to have faith that you could do it. And I think once you do that, the universe collaborates. The help comes. Yeah. So don't think that it can't be done. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
We've come to the end of this week's episode of Market to Market. Thanks for staying with us. We wish you a happy and productive week. Remember to check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you next week. Take care.